Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. What a weekend it's been. I was away on Friday down the Oval watching a bit of the old cricket, and Mo Salah signed a new contract, and then yesterday we've got Cristiano Ronaldo handing in a transfer request. I've spoken a lot about this on the United Stand, but I want to talk about here, which I haven't spoken about in relation to Ronaldo, is where does he go next? Assuming that he does leave Manchester United, and I suppose there is a glimmer that he could stay. There is a chance he could stay. But where does Cristiano Ronaldo go next? Who would sign Cristiano Ronaldo? We'll also be talking about the latest news around all of the Premier League and what's going on, as well as that Salah contract. But yeah, look, Cristiano Ronaldo, I believe, and this is what I want to get a discussion of going. I've watched Cristiano Ronaldo for most of his career and obviously watched every game he played last season for Manchester United. There's absolutely no doubt of his fitness levels. Look, he's 37 and people will talk about that, but the reality is the way he looks after his body and how fit he is, it's difficult to put an age on it, but definitely got at least another one or two seasons at the very top level. And I think if you took Cristiano Ronaldo and you stuck him in a Bayern Munich side or a PSG side or a Chelsea side, I think he would score a lot of goals. It's interesting though as to where he would go next. He's on big money. He's got another year on his contract at Manchester United on big money. He's got another year on his contract, so Manchester United would expect a fee if he was to go. So who do you think would be queuing up to take Cristiano Ronaldo? Because I tell you what, if I am Thomas Tuchel or I am Bayern Munich, I would go and do that deal. And I really would. I think if you can score 18 Premier League goals in that Manchester United side, you can score 30 in a team like Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, a top side, and the same for Bayern Munich. So I think it's a bit of a myth as well. I read something this morning about Chelsea wouldn't go for Cristiano Ronaldo because Thomas Tuchel wants a more proactive centre forward. I can understand that. I can understand that. I don't think if you know, the way Chelsea play, you look at Romelu Lukaku, it didn't work, but Romelu Lukaku was there to be busy and physical and hold the ball up and everything like that. There may be an argument that Ronaldo doesn't suit the way Thomas Tuchel wants his striker to be. If you want your striker to be, all action, aggressive, physical, that's not really Ronaldo. Ronaldo thrives in a team where you're creating a lot of chances. That's why Pep Guardiola, he would have been perfect. It's not. I think sometimes people look at Ronaldo and go, well, it's a negative to get Ronaldo because he's lazy and he doesn't run around a bit. Trust me, watching Ronaldo in the last few months for Manchester United last season, you've got basically Manchester United players walking around in flip-flops with a towel over their shoulder and tanning themselves for the summer holiday, doing almost doing the press-ups for their six-pack pictures and all that. Ronaldo was running relentlessly. Sometimes he was left back, he was dropping into holding midfield. His fitness and ability to put the shift in is it is still there. People almost talk about Ronaldo like he's just stood on the penalty box waiting for crosses. Far from it. But I would also agree he's not a battering ram number 9 that dominates centre backs, and he never has been. Ronaldo needs people in and around him, and he needs chance creation. So if Tuchel wants a number 9 that's going to be this aggressive up on their own front player, then it probably isn't going to be Ronaldo. But the reason Pep Guardiola wanted Ronaldo is because they spend a lot of time camped on the edge of the box of the opposition, and someone like Ronaldo in that situation, who's playing little layoffs, making little runs, moving around the box, would be perfect. So Bayern Munich would be the club that I think would suit Ronaldo like a glove, especially if Lewandowski was to leave. The way that they play, I think he'd be perfect for them. It surprises me that Bayern Munich don't want to do it, but Bayern Munich might not want to do it because Bayern Munich, can they afford £500,000 a week? Can they afford that sort of a deal when, arguably they could go and get somebody at half the price who's going to give them more of a future? So it's difficult to see where Ronaldo would go. I always felt PSG. Ronaldo would be the right deal, especially when they've got Messi there as well. They're going to dominate a lot of teams. The problem you would have with that is that PSG want to win the Champions League. And if you've got Neymar and Mbappe and Messi and Ronaldo, you can't pick all 4 of them. And if you do let Neymar go, can you pick Messi, Mbappe and Ronaldo? Well, you probably could, but you're going to come up against the same problems you do in the Champions League every year, where those 3 players don't really work when you are up against it in the Bernabeu and you need to be defensive. So, look, if they want to dominate shirt sales of the world, Ronaldo and Messi, and score loads of goals in the French league, it would be great. But it probably wouldn't help them in the Champions League. So it's difficult to see where Ronaldo goes. I think Chelsea would be a very good move for him. And if I was Thomas Tuchel, look, I'd look at last season and say Chelsea's season ended up trophyless because you didn't have a goal scorer. Surely there's a way you can adapt that you get Ronaldo in your team and you score goals. If I was Bayern Munich, I'd be like, well, he's the perfect replacement for Lewandowski. Financially, it might not work for you. And as we've just said for PSG, does it really work when you've got the players you've already got and you want to win the Champions League? You're going to need to be a little bit more defence-minded. So, on one hand, you can say there's nowhere for Ronaldo to go. On the other hand, I think there's a case for either of those three clubs. Now, outsiders, Napoli have been mentioned. I don't know whether that makes sense. I mean, have they got the money for Ronaldo? Would that just be a move that Ronaldo makes because he wants to play in the Champions League? You know, if he's going to take a pay cut, why not go back to Sporting Lisbon? So, my understanding is that Ronaldo wants to leave Manchester United because of the lack of ambition. If he's going to go somewhere, I think he would leave Manchester United knowing that he's got a chance of winning the Champions League or winning the National League where he goes. So I think that ideally he wants to go to Bayern Munich or Chelsea or PSG if he was to leave. Beyond those three, I can't really... I mean, MLS is too soon. He's not going to go to China. I really can't see anywhere else. So that actually might be quite helpful for Manchester United, that the options might be limited and maybe Man United make the signings that they need to make and he stays at United, hopefully. But what I would say is, from what I know about Ronaldo and what I've seen of Ronaldo, I think any of those clubs would be very, very much improved if they did take Ronaldo. His winning mentality, his leadership, his attention to detail, his focus on football are unquestioned. And as I said, 18 goals in that United side in the Premier League is unreal, because we were dreadful. So I don't know. Where do you think Ronaldo could go? Where do you think he should go? Because I tell you now, he's still got it, and for me, he's still one of the best strikers in the world. There are issues, of course, in relation to price and wages, but yeah, be interesting. Salah's new contract at Liverpool. I missed this in a haze of London cricket and booze, but he signed the contract, and I think this is, I'm sure many of you have already spoken and thought about it, but I just want to add my thoughts to it because we've spoken about Mane leaving and we've spoken about Salah's contract a little bit on this channel. I think this is a significant signing for Liverpool. I really did think that Salah may do what Mane's done, but just go in a year's time. Obviously, there wouldn't have been a shortage of takers for Salah. I mean, he is a player that could easily play for PSG or Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich or anybody. For me, Salah's arguably the best player in the world. I don't know why he doesn't get into that conversation enough. I think he's somewhat underrated in that sense. And I think for Liverpool to keep a player like that on a long-term contract is huge, especially when you've just lost Mane. I mean, I know the signing of Darwin Núñez is significant and you can't keep everybody forever. And Salah was always going to be here next year in the Premier League. But I think to keep him on a long-term deal is massive. And I know sometimes Manchester United had this great way of announcing a new contract in the January transfer window, and it's like a new signing. It's not like a new signing. A new contract is nice when it's a good player and you think, yes, they're committing their long-term future. But sometimes in a transfer window, it's a bit like, yeah, you're just using that as a new signing. I think in the case of Mo Salah, though, it's a really significant signing for Liverpool to keep him. He's definitely the best player in the Premier League, with in that argument anyway, with one or two others. One of the best players in the world. Could have been going next summer. Now he's going to be at Liverpool for a few years. So for Liverpool fans, it's big. For the Premier League, it's big as well. I mean, I know I'm a United fan and all that, but I do look at these Haaland signings and Darwin Núñez and De Bruyne at Man City, and yes, it makes our rivals stronger, but the Premier League is better for it. And I want Manchester, of course, Man United's chances of winning the Premier League would be better if our rivals didn't have these players, but I'm a firm believer that if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And if Liverpool and Man City have got all these fantastic players, then that's this is why Ronaldo wants to leave Man United, because there's no ambition from the owners. So it does make the Premier League better. So Salah stays at Liverpool. Look, things are ticking on. They are. Chelsea haven't actually made a signing yet, have they? So I think the next week's going to be really interesting there. Sterling, as I said weeks ago, nailed on to go to Man City unless something changes late on, which it can do. Rafinha, I can't even talk about Rafinha anymore. I mean, Arsenal were in touching distance. Chelsea win it, and then some VAR review, and Barcelona are going to win it. So Rafinha, I don't get it. As I say, it's almost like he's Neymar, the amount of clubs are interested in him, but maybe he's going to Barcelona now, I don't know. Dembele, is he staying at Barcelona now? If Rafinha goes there, don't know. But Sterling to Chelsea, that's the one that's been well briefed on that for weeks. De Ligt to Chelsea is looking very good as well. I still think Declan Rice is an interesting one. I'm going to be talking about that on TalkSport tonight at 8 o'clock. I've got a new weekly show called The Transfer Hub. We'll delve into that one a little bit on there. Alessandro Martinez, Man United against Arsenal. I would expect Manchester United to win that, but Arsenal have stayed in the race, so they've obviously got some level of confidence. And of course, people are going to head on tour at the end of the week, so I expect it to be a very busy week in the transfer market again. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. We'll obviously be reacting to it all on That's Football. And don't forget, tonight I'm on TalkSport at 8 o'clock. I think it's live on the TalkSport YouTube channel as well, talking transfers, so check out on that. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll speak to you on the next one. And don't forget, leave your comments in. What do you think about Ronaldo and where he should go? And who should take him? Would you take him at your club?